Hello, hello. Happy Friday night. How you doing, guys? So, I'll just give the camera a second till I can see that people can see me. Till I can see people can see me. But it should be there. We are. Hello, hello. How you guys doing? So we are live on the YouTubes and the Facebooks, I believe. Hopefully everything's working. How you doing? How was your week? So if you're here playing along with me, make sure that you check in and say hello and let me know that you're here with me. I didn't really put this up until late, so it could be a very quiet, intimate group tonight. We will see how it goes. Hello, Jennifer Casita. How are you? Hi, Jenny, Irene. How are you? Karen, how are you? I was thinking about you. Happy birthday. Somebody's birthday was this week. So hello, Catherine. How are you guys doing? Are those Care Bear? Could you see them from back there? I have Care Bear earrings on today, right? What is it? Did they used to say? The Care Bear stare? What did they do when they did all the crazy stuff? Hola in Puerto Rico. Hello, my friends. Hi, Lizette. How are you? Hello, Kari, Julie. Lots of you guys here. So giving everybody a second to get on here. Got my water. I even printed photos. So tonight we are going to complete the layout that we started because we had so much fun last week painting and stamping and doing the masking, painting with distress ink of all things. And like I said, your choice, but I really love regular distress for watercolor painting. So love how they turned out. Good morning from Bali. Good morning. How exciting is that? Is that where you live all the time? That is very exciting. I want to go to Bali one day, right? One day. So we're going to finish the layout, and then I have some stuffs to make a card. So for my card making friends or mixed media, art journaling, traveler's notebook, we can have an idea of how to do these techniques on a different scale. So very fun. Hello from New Zealand. I will be there in like a month and a bit. A little bit over a month. Very excited. Bonjour. Comment ça va? Very excited. So like I said, I think the group might be a little small today because I have been super busy. So I didn't even post that I was going live tonight until I think around 6:30, 5:30, something like that. I posted that. See you on cruise number 1 in November. Right? Only 55 days till cruise number 2. So I wore these because this is from a company, I believe, in Australia, Wilder. I'm going to grab this from Melbourne with love. So I love this company, Wilder. I have to say, I really feel when I go to Australia that the shopping is going to be delightful, because all of my favorite jewelry makers seem to be in Australia. So I am very excited. So does anybody remember Miffy? I'm Canadian, so I don't know if I bet you it's a German thing or something, Miffy. But Miffy is the cutest bunny, right? Miffy. It says quirky adornments to keep your days dandy. So this is the one I ordered of Miffy. Look at Miffy with paintbrushes. Oops. Can you see it? Everything's backwards. So, and then I ordered my Care Bear earrings, right? Ordered my Care Bear earrings too, right? Currency exchange rate will be a bonus for you. Yeah, it'll be pretty much the same. I'm Canadian, right? So I think that we are pretty much on our dollars worth the same amount. So it'll be good. I loved Miffy. Me too. Miffy, the cutest bunny, right? Is it what she was called? So yeah, I put my little Care Bear. What is this? Braveheart. I think this must be Braveheart. So anyway, if you know me, I'm quirky and like all the crazy things. So I was very excited when they came out with the Care Bear earrings. So I got those. Miffy's from the Netherlands. Okay. I knew she had to be somewhere in Europe, right? So very exciting. So we are going to get right into it tonight because then I'm off. Did you guys see? I finished this beauty. if you haven't seen. I posted a little walkthrough. So, oh my goodness. This evergreen, not evergreen, this one is Peppermint Kisses Vicky album is going to be so much fun. Seriously, I have a problem because I keep saying I'm not going to make them as big. And Braveheart is a lion, is it? So what's the brown bear? What is the brown bear with a heart on his tummy? So I finished this. I finished my projects for Australia. I finished the layouts for the Christmas class this week, and all I have left is the cards and writing the instructions, which is my least favorite part, but I will do the things. Tenderheart, thank you. It's Tenderheart. Braveheart is the lion. So it has been a crazy week, and then the Peppermint Kisses albums arrived yesterday. We went and received the order, and tomorrow after, so the other thing I have to talk about, because Catherine or somebody just mentioned it, after the SBC Fest event, I'm going to be going to pack orders. So it's going to be a crazy weekend. And that's why, like everything I was going to get a whole bunch of stuff prepped for tonight, but I'm just making along with you guys because it's how I roll. I roll into Friday night literally, and we just do the things. So it'll be good. But yes, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So you can do the Googles, check on the interwebs to see what time that is for you guys. I will be on SBC, scrapbook.com's event, SBC Fest, at 11 a.m. teaching a class that is using dies and where to next to create. I was only supposed to do one layout, but I ended up doing a double page, a bonus page, and a card. So what I have to say is, please give me some grace, because I know my video, I thought I could, it's a lot because you're die cutting, right? It's a lot of die cutting. So I thought I could speed up sections of the video so I didn't talk through parts of my video. So when we're on there, I'll be on chatting live because it will be like a premiere, so I can chat with you. So don't judge, because if you guys, you're like, I've never heard Vicky quiet for that long. I literally would just die cutting the butterflies and the things that I needed to do. So the plus is that you really could work alongside. If you bought the kit, you could work right alongside me creating the projects, because I was making everything live with you guys. So just be prepared when you're hanging out with me. And even if you can't come and do any of the things, just come and chat with me so I don't look like a weirdo. But it is like, you're going to laugh. So I'll tell you guys now. So when we have to film an intro and outro, and I filmed it all and then realized that I look like a floating head because like I'm so, like this in the video. So there again, no judgment. You can laugh at me though, because it really is laughable, but it's pretty funny. So I love it. And that'll be great, Julie. That's your 34th wedding anniversary on October 25th. I just realized it's rich in art, mine and Rich's. 25th wedding anniversary on October 10th, and we would have totally forgot. So, oh my goodness, it's crazy. So anyway, we're going to get right into the things tonight. Do you have any questions? Anybody celebrating anything this weekend or this week? Anything that I need to know about? Tell me the things. I would love that. Hello, Jessica Vestal. How are you, my friend? So yeah, I printed photos. So I'm very excited about that. Oh, I have to grab stuff. My paper trimmer's on the other side. So when I flip the camera, I will grab my paper trimmer. Is there one spot that shows all your travels? One spot where? Is there somewhere where I've listed where I've been? Probably not. I laughed. Somebody sent me an email and they're like, I'm sure I'm not talking to the Vicky. And I'm like, you're talking to the Vicky, because it's only me until everybody keeps yelling at me. Like to sign up for all my travels. It's Cruise and Crop pretty much one of the things I need to do on VickiBooten.com, because that's really where you find all of my stuff, right, is on VickiBooten.com. There's a blog section, and I would like to add a calendar so you guys know what's coming up for events and classes and all the rest of it. It's in the works, but there again, one Vicki creating all the projects, one Vicki packing the orders, one Vicki doing all of the things, sending the newsletter, all of the things. I'm hoping, and then I'm away for 6 weeks. So it's some crazy times. But I wanted to tell you one thing that I'm working on that I've been talking to my friend Jim West about. So you want to mark your calendars. 2025, I'm talking to Jim about another Tuscany tour. So I want to reach out to all of my friends that were on that one with me. It'll be a land tour, and I'm trying to customize it and make it really awesome. So, but it will be very limited space. It will be a very small group of us traveling around Italy. So be watching for that one. That will be a land tour through my friend Jim West, puts on some amazing trips. So working on that one. How are you liking your new space? I'm not even in it, Karen, like not even in it. I have worked all week because somebody has to do the creative stuff, right? And that's my favorite part. And I had to get ready for all of these things and get samples ready so we can fill the last couple of seats. There are only a few spots left. If you guys are in Australia and want to come to the event with myself and Natalie May in Brisbane, it is going to be awesome. The projects that I made, some of my favorite layouts ever, because I did a whole bunch of mixed media with the metallic watercolors on them. It's going to be good. But yeah, there's so much going on, right? And then remember, we're just wrapping up my spring collection. So I've been working on that furiously with my designer, Melissa. And I have to say it's beautiful. And some of the things you guys have been talking about are going to be in that collection. So just so you know, it's very fun. It's bright and colorful. And there are some really fun elements in it. So I've been working on that as well. Like right before I came on here, I was just doing tweaks to finish the sticker book. And then we're looking at like a new SKU that kind of combines two old SKUs together. So been working on that, plus all the travel, plus receiving, fulfillment and receiving. It's craziness, right? Looking forward to cruise number 2 in Adelaide. Me too. I can't wait. That's getting so much closer. I was a floating head for the first year. We went to work from home. I love it, Jenny. Oh my goodness. I've been doing this long enough that, you know, I should be able to master the things. So when I get the filming area set up in my new space, because I'm going to have a permanent filming area where the lights, everything is set up, I just go click, click, turn everything on, have an overhead camera that can zoom in and out. So I'm going to have all that set up and we're going to be good to go, right? But it's been crazy. I don't even know half the time if I'm coming or going. So for you guys that are still sticking around and you tolerate me, thank you. I very much appreciate it. If you've sent me 10 emails and it takes me forever to respond, just know I'm not ignoring you. Like, I love all you guys. So I want to make every single one of your experiences the best, but I'm a hot mess most of the time. So thank you. If you enjoy this hot mess and you're still sticking around, I very much appreciate it. So let's flip the camera and let's do some things. Hello, Dawn. How are you? Counting down the days to November in Adelaide. Flights booked, accommodations booked, relief booked, Red Crosses on calendar, ready to go. Oh, I'm so excited, Nicole. I'm so excited. So we love you. I love you too, Anne. Like, seriously, if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't even be doing any of this stuff and doing the things that I'm passionate about. But I always feel like I need to apologize for my tardiness and all the rest of it. I just want you to know I'm not sitting around like reading a book. I literally just need to split myself into 4 and it would be great, right? 4 people so we could do all of the things. So let's flip the camera. I think everything's going to work tonight. Fingers crossed, knocking on wood. There we go. I think that's working. Nothing's upside down. We're good. We're good. So let me set myself up here. And I need a paper trimmer. Bought my SBC Fest for tomorrow's class. I'm very excited. I would show you a peek, but I probably would get in trouble. But I just want you to know it's fun. It is a fun. We're going to do a double and a single, and then there's enough left over for a card. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Let me adjust my light. I hope so, Karen, because I'm sure some people probably want to punch me in the throat a lot of times. Just a sec. Getting my paper trimmer and my adhesive, because I'm working on both sides of my desk right now. So everything wasn't where it needed to be. Okay, now I'm good to go. I'm going to sit down and we're going to do the things tonight. So much fun last week, right? Did you guys enjoy that? I can always tell when it's one that kind of hits a magic note, because a lot of you guys worked on a sample, like you made something. And that is what I live for, right? I that is the best, when you guys aren't only like, okay, that was fun, and you kind of watch and hang out with me, but you actually make something. I love it. Oh, never. So thrilled that you mail me back, and you always are so kind. Thank you, Rebecca. Like I said, there are some people I'm sure that are like, well, you know what? And it's okay, because one day I'll be able to slow down enough to actually get the help that I need, right? But the whole thing is I'd have to train them, and I can't stop. So I just don't go to sleep and just do it all myself. But it's not, I wouldn't say it's a great business model. Hello, Valerie. My friend Valerie left me and went to see her family and hang out in her old stomping grounds, New Jersey. She's on the beach, Jersey Shore, and she left me. This stamp set is from this collection, Where to Next. I don't think you got this one, right, Karen? Because like you were doing home renos and stuff, right? I have all of the things. You can come visit me at my new spot and buy whatever you want. Just come in there. It's all stocked, and you can just come and hand pick whatever you want, right? I saw your card, Karen. It looked great. Karen did the masking with butterflies for a card. I love it. So I did cut. I said I thought it needed a couple of the mid-size stamps. So I did the ink drops and drips, and I have some of the mini. And then we have the big guys. And then I did stamped extra for the card. I haven't fussy cut them yet though, but I do have bits for the card. So yeah, we can do it for sure, Karen. I moved all of my stuff to a new space on Ontario Street, right across from the Book Depot. So you can come visit me, and you can shop whatever you want. There's tons of stuff in there. Tons of stuff. Just a few more days, coming to an end soon, full of lobster and shrimp. That is just not even fair. Lots of lovely places to stay in Adelaide. November is quite quiet tourist wise. That's awesome. Yes, all my Australian friends are going to have to give me tips on Melbourne and Sydney, because we're going to go to Brisbane and then the cruise back to back, and then fly to Adelaide. And then Devin and I are touring 3 days in Melbourne and then 3 days in Sydney, and then we're popping back over to Auckland and doing 2 days in Auckland. So I need lots of to-dos, but understanding what Vicky likes to do. And to do would not be bungee jumping. Nothing like that. That's not for me. It's more arts and shopping and all of that kind of stuff. I wish I would have done the background a bit darker. May do another one. For sure. I hope that you do, Karen, right? I'm going to bring the camera a little bit closer. Are we okay with that? Hello, Mari Clark. How are you? Hello, Darina. Sorry. Let's see. It was up pretty high. I think that's better. Let's look, because I'm frozen. Yeah, I think that's a little better, right? Okay, so like I said, I did some minis. I have a couple leaves here. We're going to finish the layering and the layout, and we're going to talk about clustering, right? So I'm gonna do a lot of talking tonight. Will you have any extra time in Brisbane? We do, because Michelle, my lovely friend from New Zealand, who I'm doing the cruises with, we're going into Brisbane a couple days early and renting a car, and we're going to do some touring around, so I get to see something. And then Devin flies in for the second cruise on in the middle, like when we get back. So hopefully that day I can wash some underwear, because I'm going to be away for a long time. I'm going to need to get some clean underwear going. And then we're going to go hopefully see something. Hopefully go see something. So I love it. I love this page too, Karen. So last week, what we did, if you weren't here last week, we did a technique called stamp masking. So you would stamp this image and then you would mask it, right? And then you'd stamp a second image. So you would get that effect where some look like they're stamped behind, right? But it's all flat. It's not layered. So we stamped them, and then we did some negative watercoloring where we painted around the images. And the ink colors I used were speckled egg, dried marigold, saltwater taffy, and mustard seed. So we did some painting around the images, and then we did some very loose watercoloring, all with distress ink, and then some stamping with good vibes. And that's where we left it off, because it was 10:30. And I went, okay, we better make this a two-parter, because it's kind of crazy, right, for me to be on here that long. Are you going to the Australia Zoo? If so, drop in and wash your undies at my house. I love that. I'm really hoping when I get there that there's people who want to hang out with us a little bit, because we'll be able to see so much more if we go with someone who lives in those areas. So I'm hoping that somebody's like, oh, I live in that area, I'm going to come hang out with you. And I'd be totally okay with it. So then we stamped and did some dripping and drops, and where we added watercolor and we take it away because distress ink is reactive. And then I put foam dots on the back, and we are going to now add a layer of dimension. So we're going to build. So if you see, it kind of looks like a V for victory, right? But I just wanted it so it was weighted up top and then just kind of trickled down. So then we're going to layer, right? I don't want to cover this space, so kind of be selective in how I layer. Maybe one up here. And we'll figure this maybe here. And then we have these little jobbies, these little guys that I thought we could fit in there, right? To fill in some space, trickling down. Maybe one over here. Kind of digging that. So I'm going to kind of go with that, but I'm going to pop those orange guys up with foam dots, and we're going to start creating our layout. Okay. And then we're going to do this whole technique again in small version for a card. So I got to talk and work at the same time. Tram tour. Yeah, I'll have to figure it out, because we have so little time there, right? That I want to make sure I see as much of I can. Like, I don't even know. Is it Sydney that has like the beach with all the colored little like beach shacks? I want to see that if I'm anywhere near it. What is that called? Where is that in Australia? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Where I'm going to leave that guy flat. Where you can go see the little beach huts. What are they called, man? You can watch the replay for sure. And then when I do the card, that's Melbourne. So I need to see that. But how far is it? Like, can I fit all of the things in? Because I want to see that, because I'm all about photography. You know what, guys? No, I love color. And I really, really, really want to be able to go and see and do things, right? And then shop and eat and take pictures. Really, that is my favoriteest thing. So I have to fit as much as I can in really 2 full days. 2 full days. dining at lunch and in a train cart. That sounds kind of awesome, doesn't it? So let's get these guys secured, and then we're going to decide what we want to fill in. We're going to decide what we want to fill in, what title we want to add on here. Like our cluster tonight, Brighton Beach. Okay, see, you guys are going to have to help me with the things that I need to see. Clustering is your nemesis, Denise. What do you find that you struggle with? What do you find? It's a natural thing for me. So it's super helpful when you guys are like, I love the look of clustering, but I don't know how to do X. Or I struggle when it comes to this. And then let me hopefully guide you a little bit. Totally digging that, right? So I'm going to secure this and then I'll put it up closer so you can see. 20 minutes from the city. So I'm going to be able to do that. That is on the list. So when you go to, where'd you say it is? Brighton Beach, Brighton bathing boxes. So here's my question. When you go to Brighton, are there other things to do there other than just to see the bathing boxes? Like, would I make a half day of Brighton? I ask, and hopefully you guys help me, and I'll tell you why. Because here's the issue, is I'm leaving in a month's time. I have to teach a class. I have to finish a collection. I am very nervous that most people, if you're going on an epic adventure to Australia and New Zealand for 6 weeks, you would do tons of research and planning, wouldn't you? But then you have Vicky, who literally will be packing a bag 2 days before I go and not even be able to know if I'm coming or going. So that will be super helpful to kind of get you guys your feedback, right? Understand color balancing. Yeah. So even looking here, like I didn't want, so when I place these flowers, I didn't want to totally cover the art. I want to leave those blue spots. So I don't want to fill them in with my popped up flowers, right? I still want to see that trickling down. I don't really want it to go in one line. So I do want to kind of adjust. So I thought it kind of looks here like it zigzags. Do you notice almost everything zigzags? I don't want to totally cover the yellow flower. So that just kind of looked like a good spot. I'll just have to come back. Yeah, because who knows? Might never happen, right? This might be my only time in Australia. And then, of course, I'm going to come and teach because there's so many of you guys that have been asking and wanting this to happen. And you buy my kits from Natalie, like the Christmas kits and all the rest of it. And you join me for the Friday Night Lives and for the online classes. That a huge priority was to come and teach, right? But by doing that, that means that it's not a lot of travel time, right? I too struggle with clustering. I can copy, but I can't select in a way that I'm happy with. With ephemera, I seem to want to match, but I think I have to get that out of my head. 100%, Christine. I would say in design, period, I'm not into the matchy because the matchy, like even when I get dressed, right? I would never match my shoes to my outfit, if that makes any sense, right? Like look at tonight. I have a black and gray top with stars on it. And then I have brown earrings with a bear with a heart in its belly. Because I just find with this, the gray is a neutral, right? The gray is totally acting as a neutral. So then I'm going to have my pops of color and interest. So it's no different with how I would design a scrapbook page or anything else I'm doing. If I'm doing some interior design, I would use the same concepts, right? That I'm going to have something that is just kind of a workhorse, like my gray top. It's pretty. It has a little bit of pattern. And then I'm going to have something that's going to be totally funky funkalicious that is the focal point, which in this case are the earrings, right? So on a layout like this, we layered and did all this pretty. Biggest thing is less is more. Try not to over embellish, because you want each element, even though it is a teamwork, you still want it to have little elements that kind of stand out on their own, like working well together, right? Yours always looks forced. So when we get to, like, I think that we'll do a little bit of the clustering tonight, but I think my next Friday night live, which will be next week, why don't we make that cluster focused? So it won't be mixed media like this. It's going to be more cluster focused, where we literally will take 2 packs of, or a pack of ephemera, some stickers and some chipboard and some enamel dots, and we'll have a whole full-on conversation about clustering. Yes, and cards are hard. That is a hard thing for me too, Karen, because a card is such a smaller scale that I can't put as much stuff on there, right? So less is more. Not always, right? Because really, Vicky is kind of a more is more kind of girl. But look at, so even how this came together, right? Do you see now our focal point on the raised bits? Can you kind of see the raised bits? So this is clustering. Just because we stamped it and cut it out, it's clustering. Do you notice there are lots of open spaces as well as the areas being clustered? And we did all the stamp layering, and I covered a lot of it, because you could have left this page completely empty, right? So when we look at this now, let's look my photos. You might not have even went with full on red, right? I was just quickly trying to print something that I didn't have to do a lot of editing, because time factor, right? So on this one, because I didn't leave very much space, I decided I wanted it to kind of be 2 3x4 focused. Because some people are like all about getting as many photos on a page as possible, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that's your jam, go for it. I really like a balance of photo and product. I often forget about the journaling because it's not my vibe, right? I might journal on this page. I might not, right? Not going to lie. See, now this guy will have to be popped up so I can get my photo. So I'm going to map these, but you get the idea that I thought that this would kind of work nicely with this layout. So I still have a photo. I can talk about going to Thule. I don't know how to say that. Rich and I, right, when we were in Seattle. Eek. And I'm going to slightly matte these so I can tie my colors in. And I might matte these in green to tie that green in. You could matte them in a blue, which would be really pretty. And then down here is going to be a little jazz with some kind of title. And this layout really could be done. The only thing, because I like to bling it up, is we could put some stickles in the middle of the flower or some enamel dots. And really this layout could be done. And I'll tell you that it's twofold for me. There are so many of you guys that I would love to have, like, take you and do like a extensive Vicky Booten a deprogramming weekend. I feel like some of the things that are in your head when it comes to being creative, we really need to break that down. This was twofold for me, because just the process last week of painting these, if I never put a photo on this or finished this, I would not have cared. That was some of the, after a really hard, long, exhausting weekend, sitting and painting with you. Look, I went to almost 11 o'clock with zero intention of doing that, right? And my reward was literally just sitting, layering the stamps, playing with color, playing with the technique, talking to my friends, and that was a reward. It was awesome. It filled my soul. It was good for my mental health. It was awesome. A lot of you guys would be like, well, we have to finish this. isn't done until I put photos on it. I journal it. I put a double page with it because I cannot make a single page layout, and it has to go in my album, and it has to be chronological. That's a lot of rules, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not telling you that if that's the way you choose to craft, that there's anything wrong with it. I just want to tell you that it's okay if it's a single page layout. It really doesn't matter if it's a single. It's okay if you're not using 4x6 photos. It's okay if you don't journal on this page at all. Because really, in the end, the crafting, I really think, should be for you first. And then the documenting and all the rest of it should be second. It's okay that if you put no pattern paper at all on this, it's okay. If you feel good about it and you enjoyed the whole process, who am I to say, or you to say, or anybody else to say that there's a right way or a wrong way? And this is really the whole art journaling. Oh my goodness, what just happened? Freaky stuff is going on here, friends. Let me see. Solo. That's not where I wanted to go. There we go. See that freaky stuff just happened there? Somebody just popped in here and said, liar. Rules are rules for a reason. And then I want to get into where we talk about the layering and the clustering and rules that I use. Like, there's usually a linear aspect in it. I don't like things to just float with no reason. So we need something that kind of waits and puts balance in there, which we did here. Like my photos here now aren't just kind of floating in space, right? We put this whole weight line. I actually agree with you 100%, Vicki. Just make art for the sake of art. And you hear, I say it all the time, just make it because it makes me feel good. You don't have to have any rules with this. Even I get a lot of emails where it's like, Vicki, I love your class, but I don't make mini albums. And then I go, why don't you make mini albums? Do you like mini albums? Or like, I put no limitations on my creativity. I would go to any type of class if something about it appealed to me. I will make a mini album all day because I can see a start and an end to that project. I really could. It could be a finished project. They're great for gifting. They're great for small snippets in time. And then I have a lot of people that will only do double page layouts. Only will do double page layouts. And I love that. It's how I started. It's all I did because at some point somebody told me that's what scrapbooking was supposed to be. I guess my biggest takeaway, as Vicki's up on her soapbox, her box of Crayolas, just do it for fun. There's no rules, man. Don't limit yourself. Try one of my kits where you do a mini album. Just try it. See if you like it. You know, try the class where we just do mixed media. Like when Vicki next year says, we're just going to do mixed media and we're not putting photos on it or doing anything. We're just going to literally do some art discovery. Get in there, both feet in, and just do the things. Because I really think you don't know what you like until you try it. Your holiday collection is so gorgeous. Thank you. Art for everyone, right? It is. It was my whole reason. And as working with a company to finally do my own collection, because people had asked me through the years and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to do it. Because if I do it, guess what's going to happen? I only get to use my own stuff and that's going to get boring. And then thank goodness that I have a team at American Crafts that really lets me. I proved myself that I think I know what will sell and I know what people will like. And then I'm going to educate so people feel supported in their purchases. And I don't feel I'm ever tired with my collections. There's lots of stuff going on. So thank goodness for that. And I don't put any limitations on the art. I'll just do all of the things, right? Just do all of the things. I used to tell you guys that I wasn't a card maker. Now guess what I love to make? Cards sometimes, especially, what are those called? Slimlines. I don't know why. I love that long narrow. But cards are hard for me because it's not enough space. That's a thing for me. I need to stretch out. And that's why I think for me, art journaling is like that happy medium between scrapbooking and card making for me. I want to tell you something though. So when I was working on my class for Australia, everyone who's in Brisbane gets one of these. This is one of your gifts from me. So everyone gets this set of watercolor. So when I was doing, I'm going to show you one layout from there. Because this is the thing I'm going to add. We're going to add some sparkle before we get down and dirty. Let me pick one layout that I found particularly pretty. Oh, look at this one. I'm going to show you this one. Freaking love this. So clustering. Here's a fun one. Look at. So the reason I'm bringing these out is, can you see the gold on that layout? Can you see the gold sparkles that I dripped on here? It is this set, these watercolors, this one and the cosmic one that came out with Print Shop are stunningly beautiful. So if you're a card maker out there, a scrapbooker, you do art journaling, you're a scrapbooker who just wants to put even just the paint dots on your background, you need to buy both of these. And that's not only because it has my name on it. I'm telling you, this is a great product. And I was reminded why I loved it when I made this double page layout for my friends in Adelaide when I come. So I had this background. This class is like a mix of a whole bunch of different Vicky Boutin collections, because I just went, I'm coming to Australia. I'm going to find everything I can from existing collections and do those, right? So look at that cluster. Look at that cluster. And I use some ink on the backgrounds and then the gold dots. Can you see them? I hope they show up. Can you see how freaking bright and sparkly they are? And that is from that watercolor. There is so much mica pigment in them. It's absolutely beautiful. So if you guys are coming to Adelaide, this is one of the layouts. And I'm telling you, I freaking love it. So I cluster like crazy. I think it's really my jam, isn't it? Clustered titles and mixed titles like are the best thing, right? I love it. Love it. And then this is probably one of my favorite clusters I've ever done, with the circle in the middle and the scissors. No rules. There shouldn't be, right? Just do the things that make you happy, but learn how to self-edit. There's the other thing that I say that, and then you guys go hog wild, and then sometimes I'll be like, oh, they got a little crazy there, because there still has to be some kind of design in it. So what I want to do is add some of that gold in here. The other thing, you can mix these and make some rose gold by mixing the gold color, and the pink is beautiful. But look at, that's it. I just added a little bit of water, and there is so much gold mica, yummy deliciousness in here. So let's go in here now and just add. So when you put this down, you'd look and go, it doesn't look very sparkly just yet. And it won't until the moisture leaves. So I'm going to put a little bit of that on there, because I think that that will be a nice layer. And I'm just doing it right on top of all the business that's already on here. And I'm going to show you in a second. Some of these I want maybe a little bigger, just so I really can see the gold. So I just do this, a little circle. Maybe a big circle blob right there. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. We want it to look like it dripped. Just make some of the little dots a little bigger. But by doing the little tapping first, it kind of helped you with placement, right? I can get enough water on here. And now let's give it 1 second for the moisture to soak into the background paper. And then I will show you what those look like. I feel the same, Stella Lynn. Sometimes a cluster works and other times it just looks wrong, and I can't figure out what's going wrong. I so wish that we could all be in the same room so I could say, okay, here are the items we're going to cluster with. Show me what you would do. And then when you're laying them out, that's when we could talk to some design principles. Because really it is, I'm probably extremely right-brained. So spatial things are just natural to me, and color and layering pattern. Like Kari has hung out with me like as a friend, right? We hang out. So she sees me in the wild. So shopping, picking clothes, sticking her in a change room and telling her try this on and whatever. Like it's for me, it's just a natural thing. I don't really have to think about it. And it's not like I'm bragging. I'm just saying it's hard for me, right? It's easier for me to kind of teach and give guidance when I can see it in action. Because for me, I don't have to think about it, right? It's one of those things when I start kind of moving things around and it just visually, I don't have to think about it. It isn't planned. It just kind of organically happens, if that helps. Splatters are the best thing, right, Karen? Like it is the best thing. So when these dry, you're going to have these completely beautiful metallic little dots on here. Can you see the freaking sparkle in there? So I just want you guys, like you might have bought these and they might still be in the package, right? So the point I'm making is pull these out. Pull these out. If you love them, you know they're one and done with American Crafts, although something is happening. But the only thing is sometimes, right, you might not be able to find them again. So great product. Some of the things aren't great products. Some of the things that have my name on it, I will tell you, ugh, I don't like it at all. It's not what was intended to happen. It's just kind of what showed up at my door. I'm going to put a little heat gun on to speed this process up a little bit, okay? Just a second. But sometimes something else clicks better. Yeah, just don't commit, right? Lay your stuff down and don't put any adhesive on until you move it around and you think you like it, right? I'm not going to bake this like a cookie. I'm just trying to get some of the moisture out of these because there's a lot of water in there. It literally looks like you embossed it with gold. These are so heavily pigmented. It is, oops, I just moved that one around. An amazing product. I have to say, very proud that my name is on that one. We will come out with another set. We just got to figure out what colors they are because I think it's a great product. Good job, American Crafts. Okay, let's grab a paper towel because I have 0 amounts of patience. So I am not going to rub these. I'm just going to lift some of the moisture. I find a new spot so I'm not depositing moisture, right? And we can keep finishing this layout because there's not, I'm telling you, I'm just putting a title on here and I'm going to mat those photos. But look at that. Can you see how gold that is? And it looks like solid gold, right? Love them. There we go. Okay. I wanted to show you that because I was playing with them this week and I'm like, oh, I got to remind people to pull those out. Okay. So we need a mat and we need a title. So you can pull your print shop. You can pull out your where to next. You can pull out your simple stories, whatever you want here. So I would like, I think, one of these kind of scripty backgrounds. And the reason being is I don't want to cover up all my pretty art with something solid, right? So I could put the story on here. And I feel like putting it in this kind of naked area could be really cool. Like it doesn't really need a base. If you want a base, the thing you could layer underneath it is some washi tape. Would be really cool. I could put some washi and put the and the story. So let's look. Is there one I like? Oh, the little sunshines could be cute. Let's look. You have them, right? You're probably like me and you're a collector of fine scrapbooking and paper crafting and stamping products. And then you sometimes forget to pull it out, right? So reminding you guys, pull the stuff out. So I feel like I want to put that there and this here. It could be beautiful all on its own, but let's look if we put a little bit of washi underneath it. And then we'll move on to the card. So I'm thinking like this idea, right? Put that under. I'm going to put it under. Just need to figure how much I needed. Right? Like that. Do you guys like these stickers, the handwritten ones? I really, really do love them. When is your fall collection releasing? So the release date, I believe, is going to be, as long as they don't change that, are you ready for it? The 19th of this month, meaning that's when I can present the baby. But it's not shipping until October. I don't think anything is actually even in the warehouse yet. I'm going to put this on the same angle. So I might put a new piece of washi there. It is, have you seen it at all, Mari? Because I know some people have access if you work or have friends that are store owners, or so I know some people out there have probably seen the new collection, but you can't post it because there's an embargo. There's embargo dates. I can't share anything. I don't have anything. The only thing I have are the stamps and the stencils. I actually do not have a piece of anything else. Look at. So now by putting that little bit of washi, it's not floating in space, right? So the new collection is, I think you guys are going to go gaga. And if you do my weekend events, I'm going to give you a little heads up. So what's going to end up happening is I don't think I'm going to ship it until January. And the reason being is I'm gone for a whole month. It's going to ship to me in October. So by the time it gets to Canada, it's probably going to be the end of October. While I'm gone for the whole month in November, they'll kit everything. And then I don't want to ship it to you guys during December when it's the craziest, most expensive shipping time of the year. So I thought I will ship it in January and we'll have the event in February, and it gives us something to look forward to. So just to give you kind of heads up, that's what's going to be happening with the new collection. So I will kit it. I will put it in pretty much the same idea of what you've been buying in my kits before. But instead of cards with this class, I think we're going to do a cluster night on the Friday. So we're going to make clusters. You could make them into cards if you want to. But I think I want to just do a couple dots right by that and maybe a tap. Because I do thank you so much for supporting when you buy those class kits and my weekend events, because that's pretty much how I get paid. That doing those events, if you're like, wow, with the events, I'm like, that is literally how I make my living from those. Do you really, I don't feel like, should I mat these? Maybe. Let's find a piece of green cardstock. I think that's all I want on here is a piece of green under each photo mat. And I really love that. I don't feel like it needs much more, right? I think that this is just fine. Postal rates don't go up at Xmas. They go up in, oh yeah, the rates, but the whole thing, well, we'll decide. I just get nervous. I get nervous shipping in December. I don't know. Am I crazy? Let's find some green cardstock. Because I can ship it in December, but the class still isn't going to be till February, right? So I like green on here. Let's see. Yeah, because those weekend, so I'm going to do a very thin little mat. Sorry if the hiccups. But just to give you guys an idea, so that's how it's going to work. There'll be a pre-order that's going to go up in, I have to put it up in September because everybody's going to be posting the collection. So I put my pre-order up in September. I really feel like this one will sell out because you guys are going to love this collection. And then the kits are going to be kitted while I'm away because I will have all the instructions for Denise and Jenna and Rich, and they will get to kitting them. And then we will get them in the mail and shipped. And the event is going to be in February. It gives us something to look forward to after the holidays, right? So early February. Thank you, Mari. Well, you know what? And it is, like, I look out there, I'm not the only one doing these classes. And even when you do event weekends, when you think about it, just to give you an idea, Christmas for the Peppermint Kisses are 16 layouts. I did 8 double page layouts. I've done all of the prep or the bonus layouts are already completed. I made all of them. Like, look at this stack. These are the layouts that you will make from the Peppermint Kisses. Look at that one. Look at that one. So they're all already created. The album is over 70 pages. You can get over 100 photos in that. And then we do the cards. And remember how I told everybody, I'm just going to give you a heads up. For the whole month of December, I usually do multiple lives. So more than just a Friday night live. I do them for the whole month of December. We do holiday crafting. And remember I said there'll be lots left over in your kit. I used everything. Just so you know, there's hardly anything left. I stuck so many embellishments and so many layers. I'm telling you, if you bought extra of Peppermint Kisses, if you still have Evergreen and Holly laying around, you're not going to be sad about it. Because we're going to do some kind of mini book. I want to do a card mini book using a card set. So you could use Warm Wishes, you could use Peppermint Kisses, you could use Evergreen and Holly. And then I'm also going to do some other kind of, remember last year we did, I don't know where it is. It's in my closet, I think. Do you remember we did the, I loved that. In the sleigh, we did all of those kind of textured layered bits. Maybe we can do a version of that. We've done this one year. Do you remember this was what we made? It's here. Where we took Tim Holt's tiny, like the little house thing, and we did this. So this is in a cloche. I have this in like a cloche jar. Do you remember we did all of that mixed media and then made the little village, and then we made the wreath and stuff? So every year at Christmas, I literally give you days, like, right? The 12 days of Christmas tags. Did you like that, Irene? Should I do that or a different version of it? So what I'm saying is tomorrow I'm going to be putting up a whole bunch of extras. I have extra of all the ephemera, a whole bunch of stuff. So I have to go over there tonight when I'm done because I did not bring my list of inventory home. So I'm going to be adding that. So if you want any extras tomorrow at 10 o'clock, it's going to go live, just extras of old Christmas collections that I have. So if you're like, I think I'm going to hold this up so I can see it. Oh, I love it. If you're looking for some of it, I'm going to be posting a bunch of it. You can add it to your Peppermint Kisses order, and I will refund the extra shipping and I'll fit it in your box. So I just wanted to, instead, I don't need to keep it. I have tons of stuff in that room. And now that I've moved my space, it's way more organized, right? I know where everything is at because I've been putting stuff away. So I think if you guys are interested, there'll be stuff, right? 12 days of Christmas tags. It was fun. Should I do that again? Some version of that? Because what could be fun is if we find some kind of die Like if I give you a list, I'm for sure going to be using, just so you guys know, I'll probably order them and throw some in the store, the new Tim Holtz mica sprays, because that'll be fun, right? Those will be fun to use. I don't have the gold paint, so tried the gold glaze 100% works, Christine. The gold glaze 100% works. We've been using that forever. You loved last year's project. That was a lot of fun. I have to say the tag book was so fun. Well, I wanted to make a book out of the cart. I would like everybody, like I said, the boxed cards, a 6x8 paper pad, ephemera, stickers, all of that, and then punches. And we will have like our basic toolkit that every time I do one of the projects, it will be pretty much with the same tools, right? So give me your feedback, right? Things that you'd love to see. Like do you want me to do a little gel plate printing where we could do a couple gel plate printed backgrounds and then make out of them? So our first session for that could be printmaking. And then we could use dies or your silhouette or your punches and do a whole bunch of stuff. I just found my Tim Holtz mica stains I bought last year for Christmas. Yes. And guess what, Jill? I found a bunch of them too that are still in my shop that I didn't sell. So do you have the Peppermint Kisses goodie bags in stock? I do. They're going to go up tomorrow at 10. I have extra of everything. There's albums for my layout makers. I didn't talk about this. If you go on vickybooten.com right now, I've added kits with no album. So I for $175, you can have everything in the kit except for the album, and you still get access to all the classes. So you don't have to pay the $40 for access only. You can get the entire kit and it includes all the classes. I only have about 20 of them. I posted those on vickybooten.com right before I came live. So they're up there for my layout makers who want the kit but don't want the album. It's a special thing. And then I'm also going to sell extra albums, right? Extra albums. So look so far. I love that. And the little bit of gold really, really made that pretty, right? Really made that pretty. So let's find, because now when you talk about what I would layer on here, so I like this, but I feel like now I need a sticker. The products that I make with American Crafts are because it's the products I use. Have you ever noticed that? I always like something that's dimensional. So my titles 100 or 99.9% of the time will be a thicker or a chipboard or popped up. And then I like a little subtitle. So my subtitle is usually in a sticker book, on the sticker sheet, off the chipboard sheet. So we always layer that. And then we go and find something that would work with it, right? I just dropped a whole bunch of stuff on the floor because that's also how I roll. So I would go, see, these are all used. Sunshine and Good Vibes. Not really. That wasn't really what was going on here. And then, ooh, look at. So elements that I like, right? This wouldn't fit, but that always is an element I like, right? Discover new places. Oh, I like that. Places I would like to visit. Well, I did visit it. So, oh, and the turquoise kind of looks nice on here. So see, I could totally now put this element. Now, I will tell you something. Because I put these little strips here and it's linear, it kind of bothers me. Not going to lie. Like if that strip wasn't there and I put this element on here, I would totally be like, yep, it's perfect. But now linear, I don't love it. So let's see what other things we could do if today is not going to be a subtitle kind of day. Linear. I don't love it. I don't love it. But maybe this one I like because it's not as long. Totally Obsessed. The story, Totally Obsessed. Like that better. So I'm going to pop that guy here. So I add another element to my title because right now it looks a little blanc. Could you go up could that go up in your photos? It could. We'll look up there in a second. Let me finish the title because I like that because it's smaller. Totally like that. And the color matches, right? The story, totally obsessed, which I was. I love Chihuly. And then always, usually we'll put an element at the top of my photos, right? So we have these guys that I could add, and then I could find a little word to put with them, right? But I don't like them too heavy and bulky this time. So normally I would do that, but they might only have one, maybe at the side. And this kind of mirrors I like that. I totally will do that. So that guy's going to go there, and then I'll find a little sticker word to go on there, right? I like that. And I'm not going to add much more on here. Like I said, if there's going to be any kind of focal point, I'm going to put something in the middle of my flowers, and that's where I really want to dress up. Here, I might only add the date, right? And if you're like, where would you journal on this? I would do some right under here. I could also do a little bit here, a little bit up here, and then a little bit down here. I could print it and put a clear sticker on with my journaling right here if I wanted to. But who am I kidding? I'm not going to journal on here. So I know for some of you, you're like, I can't even believe she's not going to journal, but I don't. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll come back and journal. Because the other thing, when I'm in the home and I go to look, and you're going to be like, where were you in that picture? And I'll be like, I don't know. Because I didn't journal. Right? Where were you in that photo? I don't know. Because for sure, Vicky's going to lose her memory. My marbles are going to all be lost. So I put the little gold dots from here. I fill every space on my stuff in the middle of those, and then I'm going to put a little rhinestone in the yellow ones, orange ones later. But I'm going to call this one done. I'm happy with it. I don't feel like I need to do anymore, right? I don't need to do anymore. I really love this layout, and I love this part. Love that part like a lot. So let's make a card. Let's make a card because I really like that idea. I am really excited actually for the card. So for our card, what card would you like me to make? A 5x7? Would you like a slimline? What kind of card would you like me to make? And just so you know, what I'm going to start with is I'm going to make a center panel for my card out of foundations paper. And then we're going to layer it on the card. So I'm going to repeat the whole process. So if you weren't here next week, I don't know if I want to do mini slimline because of the scale of my flowers. What are our thoughts? Should I do a regular slimline? Right? Because we have all these elements, and I'm going to do the same technique we did last week. Do a 5x7 and slim, rarely A2. They're just too small. Oh, you do a 5x7 and a black foundations paper, but I'm not using anything that will pop up on black yet, Ada. We could look at that next week when we do clustering, because I can bring out the cosmic watercolor next week and do clustering with the cosmic watercolors. How about that? You hang out with Vicky again. Yep. Lil is Saturday. Vicky is Friday. I love that. My slims are generally 9x4. So do we want a slim line? But I will. You got to remind me, Ada. Black foundations next week with our clustering session. So what have we decided? Because I got to cut this and do the thing. So I'm going to decide for us, and I'm going to do a 5x7. Okay. Just because I'm not going to lie, Vicky is very exhausted. So I need to push through this so that I have to teach. Well, I don't really teach. I just chat. Tomorrow I could be in my pajamas and nobody would know. So we'll do a 5x7 for this, okay? And I'm going to do the same idea. So 5x7, I think my piece is going to be 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. That's what I'm going to do. Ish. That will go on my card front. Okay. So this is foundations paper, whatever that you're using that has a little body, yaddy yaddy. Oh, I almost cut that wrong. Being a smarty. And we're going to do stamping and masking, right? And we're going to make a card with the same kind of idea of what we did last week. So you need a stamp block. You need a black ink that is not going to run when you put water on it. You need your stamp set, which is this one. I don't know if Karen is still here, but this is a stamp set that I use, Karen. I don't know if you're still here. And we're going to do the same idea, but we can't use a ton of the big ones, right? And I'm going to stamp a stamp image, and it's going to kind of float down my card. So let's start. I think I will stamp one here, and then I'm going to stamp a big one here and maybe here, and then we're going to mask them. Could I use oxides instead of distress? I could, Lynn, but remember, they're not my favorite for water techniques. And the reason being is oxide inks are hybrid ink. So it's pigment and dye base, and they're chalky. So when you add water, the dye separates, and you'll have two different colors, and it looks more tie-dyed. So it's not that there's anything wrong with it. And the other thing, because we're doing a masking technique, is because they're chalky, you really would need to stamp your images again over top, or you're going to lose the crispiness of your black ink. So if you are using oxides, I would recommend that you might want to, for the top flowers, to emboss them. Use some embossing powder on top of them. Okay, so you could totally use it, but I'm going to just stick with my palette that I have here. But that's the only reason I wouldn't use oxide for this, is because it will take the crispness of the stamped image away, because of the chalky nature of the ink will cover the stamped image. A hello from flooded Florida. Are you having floods where you are? Vicky lives in a cave, so I never know what's going on out in the world because all I do is work. But yes, you could totally use oxides instead of regular distress. That's just the difference, okay? So yes, friends, if you are just joining, I will be on tomorrow on scrapbook.com. I will share my links. So if you're going to go check it out, I will share my link in the description later. You just have more colors in oxide. A lot of people do. A lot of people got rid of their actual distress inks once the oxides came out. And I'm like, no, no, no. They both do beautifully wonderful things and are totally different. Hurricane damage. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry, Cherie. That's no fun at all. No fun at all. Hope you guys are doing okay. So I am going to stamp one here. Okay. And I'm going to stamp one right here. And then we're going to mask. You're going to be looking forward to my floating head. Vicky needs to. Simon did a fabulous job today. My friend Simon Hurley's class was today for all my card making loving friends. And he did a fabulous job. And then I said, oh my goodness, Simon, I'm embarrassed, because I need to set up a whole area for my filming. Because when I do lives is fine. When I have to film and edit videos, and then oy vey, right? Oy vey. So I'm going to now, I stamped two that are going to be my top images. And now we're going to mask these. Just got to find the spot to give the dimension and look of, once Vicky figures out where it is, I think that's it. There we go. That it looks like some of the images are behind these images, but it's all flat, right? It's all flat. Boo, boo, boo. Boo. And remember when you do this that you still want to leave some open areas for our painting, right? For the negative watercolor. Okay, I'm going to stamp one of these right here. I'm not actually even going to stamp it on that. Okay. And then let's decide. I'm not sure if I'm done with this guy, but I am going to move my mask up. Yeah, I actually might stamp one more of these. One more. That's what she does because she's crazy. Your husband says you have too much. You never have too much. As long as you're in there using it, right? Just add to. Well, a lot of people did get rid of their distress ink when oxides came out because they're like, I love these so much better. And I'm like, I love them too, but they can never replace what distress ink does. I love oxides, but when I'm painting and I want a crisp image, I love my oxides. But when I'm doing a lot of my mixed media stuff, I want my regular distress because they're transparent, right? Where I have the chalkiness of the oxides. I don't know. I have all of them because I love distress. I really think it's a great investment. If Tim comes out with something new, I'm buying the things. And then I'm lucky he sends me a lot of the things too, right? So, because I love to use it. And I use it on my Friday nights, and that is a bonus, right? So if you guys can see a whole bunch of different crafters using these products in different ways, it certainly helps when you're like, I think I would like to use that. So now I am going to stamp the medium and then fill in at a little bit of a stutter. Both have their place. I agree. But I know a lot of people who got rid of all of their distress inks when the oxides came out. I was not part of that craziness because I was like, I'm also not trusting at first. It takes some convincing sometimes. Like I will be like, I don't like change. Like I updated my iPhone and now I go to put do not disturb on and it doesn't exist in the focus. In the focus section of your phone, when I put the new update on, now I go in do not disturb and I don't know how to, I used to just be able to slide a button and it would be on do not disturb. And now I don't know how to do it. And I'm like, why? I don't understand this need to change things that work. So I'm crazy like that it is a huge pet peeve for me. So I'm masking, right? Now I stamp that guy on and it looks like it's behind, right? It's behind. Love it. And now I'm going to put this guy on here. So I have a major issue with that. Anybody else, like when they change things and you're like, there was no need to change it. It worked just fine. It worked just fine. I don't know where that adds any kind of value to my life. Changing things around often keeps people unbalanced. I don't need any more unbalance, right? I like things sometimes the way they are. So I don't know. I don't think I'm resistant to change. I just don't think you need to change is fine if it's going to bring about something beneficial. Change is crazy when it just brings about stress. But it's not. I know how to use my phone, but the improvement. Like now I'm like, so now I have to do 4 steps to put do not disturb on my phone. There's probably another area other than the focus area I can use, but yes, it really very much annoys this old lady. There. Okay. I'm loving that. I don't know if I'm going to go in with the smaller ones on this. So I'm going to do my painting on here. And then when I fill in this card, right? I'm going to totally get it. It's so annoying. I bought the new Canon camcorder. However, it doesn't come with a remote. The last version did. I'm like, why though? Because they want you to pay for it separately, Mari. Right? But why wouldn't a camcorder come with a remote? But I totally hear you, friend. I'm just speeding the process with my ink here, right? So we masked. Now we're going to paint the negative. You can pick any color that you want, okay? Here, for you, my friend, here's oxide. I'm going to paint the negative with oxide. I'm going to just be careful that I don't cover my black lines. So when we go to do this painting technique, and I'm also, my water has metallic in it. So don't think these paints are metallic. It's just, I have dirty water. So see it? It's gold. My water's gold. So when I go to paint these, don't be like, where did the sparkle come from? The sparkle came from dirty paint water. So when we go to paint, we want to put down a wet layer. We're going to paint wet on wet. So if you put some clean water in around your image, and then you float your pigment into it, okay? So we have oxide, and this one is speckled egg, and we can float. So we're not going to have the chalkiness we did of the other one, right? Or pardon me, the transparency. You're going to have a little bit more opacity. So like I said, when you're painting with your oxides, this is more like using a tempera paint, or I forget, every time I want to say what the milky watercolor is, and I forget the name every single time, like a dingbat. And to be honest with you, I'm going to tell you, this is way harder to get the results. So if you did it with oxide and you're like, why does it not look like Vicky's did? It's hard. It is harder. You are not going to have the forgiveness that you would with regular distress ink. Okay. So even doing this, I'm seeing that I don't know if my results will be as consistent as they were with the oxide, because I'm painting with a chalky, more opaque paint. Gouache, thank you, every single time, right? And now because I thought I'm going to roll into this and totally be able to remember gouache. And I didn't, Julie. So I'm going to take clean water and try to pull some of that out too. It's just not going to be as forgiving. It doesn't make it a bad thing. I'm just saying it's like more advanced. I think using the oxide is more advanced watercolor painting, to be honest with you. Okay, so let's paint with water first. This is wet on wet instead of painting. When you do watercolor on a dry background, it's more for detail work. When you're trying to just paint your layers, I would do it wet on wet. And then we just kind of tap our pigment in there. And what this is going to do is it just kind of makes our painted images pop when we do it. Let's see if I can get that to drip a little bit. So when this one separates, it's almost like there's a green. See the green that comes out in that? So there is a green to this ink. So I'm just tapping more full pigment in, pushing it up, pushing it up. Okay. Natalie was great today. Oh my goodness. And I missed it. I missed Natalie today. I was so embarrassed. I messaged her and I went, Natalie, I went on there and I just missed you. They were just doing the closing. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what a terrible friend. I was writing my newsletter and editing my photos and I went, oh crap, I lost track of time. And so make sure that you guys, if you didn't already, our girl Natalie, she did a class for scrapbook.com today. So make sure you go and check. You're never going to be disappointed. She does such beautiful stuff. And she is currently out of town. So that's why you don't hear her or see her here tonight. Well, you wouldn't see her, but you know what I mean. See her typing. So definitely go and check that out if you haven't. Our girl Natalie was on scrapbook.com. SBC Fest today. Her class was today, as was a couple of different artists. I was only able to watch Simon's for a little bit today. And then I had to work and I missed everything, but I'll go back and watch for sure. Unfortunately, it's sad because then I couldn't be in the live chat. And that's my biggest thing. I always want everybody out there who does this stuff, if I'm involved, to feel like they're supported, right? To feel supported, it's so important. Okay, I want really little detail there. And then some taps. We're going to do a couple little blue taps, okay? Trying to control them a little bit. I'm going to dry this and we're going to paint our flowers. Don't like those little dots that I did, okay? So this is what I just did. Kind of painted around it. I'm going to pull this down a little bit more because we're doing a card. You don't need to be up so high, right? Is that better? Can you guys see better? Was that any kind of improvement or am I just kidding myself? So this was with oxide this time, right? I think she's in Ecuador, right? Is that where that is? Because she's visiting family and drinking her fill of coffee, she tells me. Lots and lots of coffee. Yeah, she's awesome. So instead, I don't want huge pigment. So I'm just working that with just some clean water as I dry. I love that, Jenny. That's awesome. So I don't want to bake this like a cookie. So I'm going to get most of the moisture out. And then I'm just going to put my paper towel and pick those big paint drops on. Okay, let's pick that up. Beak. And then we'll paint our flowers in. So that gives you an idea of what the negative painting looks like. Yes, that is where Natalie is from, Ecuador. And I'm probably not saying it right because I'm killed the Spanish. I am going to do saltwater taffy to start in my big flowers. Again, we are going to add water. Make sure you leave some dry areas. And then we're going to float our pigment in there. just much more forgiving. And you're going to want to layer your pigment to create depth. But to start, let's get our first little layer down of very loose watercolor. I will make it a little darker in here. And then we can pull it with some clean water too. So do you see, I always have my paper towel here. I don't want my brush sopping wet. So if I just wick the moisture out on that paper towel, that gives me more pigment, less water, and it's easier to float in. Okay. So let's put some water on here, and then we can float pigment in. Just tap it in, right? Tap, tap. I'm not really doing brush strokes, right? We're just floating some pigment in. If you find your lines look a little hard, just soften it a little bit. Tap, tap, just float in some pigment. And I'll just use this color on my larger flowers. I am actually right now just getting this done. So it's not really wet on wet. I just have really wet pigment right now. So when that layer dries, we can go in, not yet, and we'll drop some more color just to add some darker areas on our flowers. And these ones, because they're mostly the background ones, you don't really have to spend a ton of time on, right? Okay. We'll see you later, Kari and Karen. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Where are you going, Car? Are you just tired? Just tired, my friend. Okay, so now I'm going in with the dried marigold on the medium-sized flowers. So we're putting some water down. Okay. And then we'll float some of that in. This one actually has more pigment in it, this orange, than the saltwater taffy. So just be careful you don't make it too dark. Doo-doo. There we go. I think Kari already left, right? There we go. So next week, we're going to use Black Foundations paper, the new Cosmic, for something. We'll do something with it, and we're going to do some layering of embellishments. So I think before we come live here next week, I want you to, any questions you have, like anything you'd really like me to cover, things that you really struggle with will be helpful. So I can kind of really think about what we can focus on that will be beneficial. Because that's really, other than community, these Friday night lives, I want them to be where it's like, oh, that was so helpful. Now I feel like confident enough. I want to try something new. So any questions you have that have to do with the layering and clustering of product, I would love for you guys to let me know. Vicki Booten Creative Community on Facebook. Super helpful. if you haven't joined there, that it's a great place, because really, if you need to know anything that's going on class wise or anything, that's where I post everything, is pretty much on that website or on my Facebook group. Because I feel like anybody who's there, I would think would be interested. If you join a group called Vicky Booten Creative Community, I would think it's because you're interested in what's going on in the Vicky Booten Creative Community. Otherwise, maybe fly fishermen or fisherwomen of, I don't know, where would they fly fish? That might be the group you want to join. So my friend Gina K posted something about noticing that comments and such have been like, people are just short of temper and will leave like nasty comments and stuff. And I was thinking, I'm like, I've noticed that I will get maybe emails like that more, but not really. I'm very proud that our community, for the most part, are very supportive. So thank you for that, because really there's no place for it. There's lots of other things that you go in groups that maybe would be down for nastiness. It will never be here. You won't want to hang out with me if you want to be a meanie, because I just have no time for that, right? I just think there's enough crazy in the world. I'm just over here crafting. I really got nothing bad to say about anybody or anything. That is my little thought on the world around us, right? Enough crazy out there. If that's what you're looking for, this isn't the place. I'm going to put a little yellow in the middles, and let's cut out our flowers and finish our card. So for my friend Karen, if you're still here and you're like, you love this, but you didn't see last week, or anybody else who wasn't here last week, we did this technique for the card, and then I did watercolor kissing. I am going to put a little yellow in here, I think, make a little secondary color a little bit. We did some watercolor kissing technique and paint drips and splats for the ones that we're cutting out. Okay. So just to give you an idea, when you see them, they're going to look a little different. So this is what my card looks like, my base. Kenzie, and do you have any of the Vicky Booten texture paste as well? I'd have to say, because mine came out a number of years ago, before Simon's Lunar Paste, and then they discontinued them. So when you get mine, they're only ever in the sets, right? So what's helpful is if you go back through any of my old Friday night lives, you will see tons of techniques with these. And they're water-based, similar to the other ones that are out there. So you totally could look through a whole bunch, right? So that's our base for our card. Okay, that's going to be our card base. Now we have some more little elements that we can layer for dimension. Like I said, my cards are never going to be flat when they come in the mail, if I ever mailed a card. Right? If I ever mailed a card, I would have to put extra postage and all the bits on it, because they're big boys. They'd be big boys. So this was what I was saying. So same product, but I did the kissing technique where we put some ink on plastic wrap, packaging, or a piece of acrylic, and then we kiss it to the page gently, like it's your frail grandma, your Nona. You can't kiss her really hard because you'll hurt her. She's not the Rock. So you have to be very careful. So you just kiss gently. And then we did dripping and we did splats. And then we even did clean water drips and lifted the color because distressings are water reactive. And then you dry between layers, right? So these ones, when you look at, and they have all the little specks and dots, are what makes distressing magical for me, right? Yes, I'm not hating it. I am not hating it, Serenity. So thank you, whoever said, hey, can we use this? And then I used it. Because look at Smarty Pants. You were on the money. So let's decide how many of these we're going to need. I'm going to start with one. And we're going to fussy cut because this does not come with a die. So when my new collection comes out on, I think I will get to announce it, and I'll do won't be time for the walkthrough, won't be for probably like a couple weeks because I have none of the product. So I can't do a product walkthrough, but I will do where I take the images and I present it, and I get to be the first one to post about it. Is kind of nice. So please don't share links to any of my pages before I get to actually tell everybody, hey, look at my new collection that I put my blood, sweat, and tears in. And Melissa and my team at American Crafts, look at, they make all of my children's come to life. I'm just telling you, this new collection, I don't think I'm off the mark. I really think you guys are going to love it. It is definitely the Marsha to my spring collections Jans, if you know what I'm talking about. It has some grays and lilac and navy and excuse me, burgundy, and there's orange. It's beautiful. Sorry, I had to have a big drink. See you later, Poppy. So I really think this collection is going to be a hit like Print Shop was, the new one. Okay, so there's one. So where are we going to put? I only think I need 2-dimensional and then 1 or 2 little ones. And I might even get crazy and cut these ones. Yeah, I think you guys are going to be very excited about the new collection. Only one friend has seen it and has messaged me to tell me that they really loved it. So really, it is not like it's like keeping the pictures of the royal baby hidden, right? So I believe the 19th will be the release date, and then we will definitely be talking about it. We will do, please, all the loves, and then I will do the pre-order for that class, but it's not good. I don't know when it's going to ship at this point. I don't know if I'm going to ship it during the month of December. It might be. I might ship in December. If I can make that happen, I'll ship in the month of December. And then that class is going to be the beginning of February, just like Print Shop was. Because I really think it's better than rushing it. It gives us something to look forward to. And the new collection that we're just finishing up now, I don't think it'll be out probably till April or May. I really was hoping it would be out in time for Texas, the new one, but I don't know if it will be. So what's the new collection called? I can't tell you that yet. On the 19th, I will tell you all the things, because I don't really want to put the name out there because you could search it and you might be able to find it. Because some people, my collections sell really well. So sometimes stores will put them up before they're supposed to, because, you want to be the first one out of the gate because you want people to buy them from you. And I totally get that and can understand that. But in the same breath, it's not fair to everybody else, right? Because everybody wants to keep their stores alive and get the sales. So it's no different for me, even though my name is on the collections. Like I told everybody, we've talked about all of the peoples, that my income comes from classes. It's not from product design, because anybody that you talk to, you make very little money on the actual sale of the product. So the way for me to recoup all the work that goes into designing them is I sell a couple of kits and put these weekend events on. And then what's nice is we do access only. So if you are supporting your favorite local scrapbook store, which I totally love and support, do that. You can buy the access only, right? And then I take those on the cruises and the teaching. Although some of these cruises that I have coming up is going to be a lot of mixed media and a lot of, we're going to make our own mini books and stuff. I just want to flip it up, switch it up a little bit. So it's going to be very exciting. I'm going to be having a lot of fun. Why so early? Why so early for what, Pamela? I'm not sure what I said that the question is. So I just need a little bit of info on that. And then I can. So I am cutting out some of the little yellow ones and then curling them up, right? The petals. And then we're going to, I need one more of these guys. And I would like one with a little bit more color. I'm going to cut this guy out. I'm going to cut this guy out, even though. And we'll finish our card. Very good. Is anyone playing along with me tonight? Are you creating anything that I'm making or working on something else or just hanging out with a glass of wine, cup of tea, hot cocoa, coffee? I always wonder if you guys are crafting or just hanging out. I know sometimes, because this is what I would do. Like when I watch Tim or my friend Lael, or I could be watching TV and Rich will be like, how can you watch a movie and watch YouTube at the same time? I'm like, dude, I am capable of so many things. And my brain is firing on all 4 cylinders all the time. So I really find it really hard to relax. A bowl of ice cream. Wow. That sounds yummy. Working on the layout and enjoying listening. Hi, Sarah. And I saw Yarlise here earlier too. If you're still here, hello, sweet friend. You're working on a scrapbook layout, on the scrapbook layout. I love it. Why so early for the collections? For which collection? I don't, you just need to give me more information. You think that April is early? I don't think April's early. When you think about it, so this is how my collection releases used to be when we had CHA. So when we had trade shows, we had to get the collections ready, right? Because buyers came to the booth, wanted to buy the things. So collections used to be come out January, February would be the first one. And then your next release would be around June. And then now, because we have Christmas, what in a perfect world, right? Well, I just wish the one that comes out in the spring, summer came out. I would love, in a perfect world, it would come out in March. That would be my perfect release date, would be March and then the October. And then Christmas comes out in the summertime because that's just what they do. That would make me really, really happy. That would make me really happy because it just works well with classes and stuff, right? So there's another one. So I feel like we only need 2 of these guys. And I am almost going to overlap. No, I think that guy's going to go right there. And then I'm going to pop them up. And then, oh, you love it. We can fill in with a couple of the little yellow ones. Let's do another one. I love it. And then we'll put some gold dots on before. And then my sentiment, I think, will go like right there. Boop. So do we want to stamp the sentiment directly on the card? Because if we do, we could use this one, sunshine. Sunshine and good vibes. I don't think I can fit all of it. Let's see. Can we fit all of that on here? Sunshine on my shoulder makes me happy. I think we could fit sunshine, but I don't think we could, well, maybe. And good vibes. I could fit that all on here and put the and. So the only reason I'm saying that is I would love to use just the same stamp set so we don't have to grab something else. So I'll get my Misty out. We'll stamp that on there. I'm going to put the gold dots on and we'll finish this card. Lickety split, Barbara Trick. One more yellow one. Hi, Tracy. I love that. Well, I love that. This shows you that everything we do on a Friday night live can be adapted to whatever craft you love to do. Like you totally can be my friend and still be a card maker. You do not have to make scrapbook layouts. Every technique that I share could totally be adapted to a card, to art journaling, traveler's notebook, mini books, Rolodex cards, really anything, right? Because think, I've been doing this mixed media jazz for many, many moons. I wish I had way more spare time because there are so many things I'd like to make and I just don't have the time to do it. I would like to paint. I would like to make some of my own original artwork for my new space because I have a whole bunch of canvases and no time. But I would love to do that. What art or creative thing do you wish you had more time for? Is there anything? You're hanging out with a cat on your lap, right? I love these tiny scissors. I don't even know where they came from. They are awesome for fussy cutting. I'm going to try to find some little things like this to add to my shop because I have to say for fussy cussing, they're kind of my jam. I'm kind of really liking them. I want a double one there. So I lied. I'm going to cut one more yellow one. One more. One more. And I don't think I have any leaves cut. I think if I want to put some leaves on here, do we not want leaves? What are our thoughts? You paint too, Pamela? I love it. Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to paint a mural in my new place or if I'm just going to get some vinyl. I need to get a sign maker in to make my sign because I do want a sign. So when I'm doing any kind of posts and such from the area, that I have the branding in there, I think is a good idea to have the Vicky Booten sign behind me. And I bought a beautiful canvas with a mixed media Barbie painting. And then I have another one here that I have to hang. And then if you guys have noticed, I have that deer with the monocle. Oh, no, does it have glasses or a monocle? I can't remember. My deer has a monocle or not. But I have the rabbit. No, the rabbit. My rabbit has a monocle. I need to hang that. And actually, that artist has come out with a bear. She has a bear that I want to buy and a mouse. And I would love to do a little wall with all of that on there. So we'll see. My husband's like, this area is really just for kidding. Why are you decorating it so much? And I'd say that's because it's what I do. How you doing, Terry? There. I love it. And I kind of love that one just dangling. Love this so much, my friends. Don't you like when you make something and you're like, yep, I love it. I did a good job on this one. That's what I'm feeling. That's kind of what I'm feeling in my bones right now. I'm really loving it. Loving this little card. Would you be happy if you got something like this in the mail? Or would you be like, why didn't you buy me something from Hallmark, you cheapo? Some people don't appreciate handcrafted at all. Oh my goodness, I love this right here, that placement. Right? So this could totally go in your art journal. This could go in a mini book. Let's put some of those little gold dots on here, and I'll just try to remember where I had that stuff. I don't think I'm going to put a leaf on here. I think I'm going to just leave it. I love it. You'd love that card. Hello, Debbie. How are you? I need to start. Maybe that's another thing we'll start doing on Friday Night Lives for the cards. I will start getting people to leave a comment. I'm going to do it with this card. We're going to start tonight. When this video is done, leave a comment if you would like this card in the mail, and I will randomly select somebody by next Friday that I will mail this card to anywhere in the world. So if you are watching, when this is done, not in this regular section, in the comment section underneath the video, below the video, leave a comment, and then you'll have to come back and check, because I'm going to post on this post whose name I randomly chose, and I will mail you this card. If it's not your jam, don't leave a comment. If you're like, well, that's stupid, I don't want this card, then just don't leave a comment, right? But yes, I will mail this card with a little note inside. So we'll start doing that, right? So I'm not even gonna wait with my heat gun. I'm just taking the moisture out. There is so much mica in here. Look I just put these dots down. And even though I'm lifting the water out, look at all the pigment left behind. Look at how fun that is. Can you guys see that? Can you see the gold? Love it. Okay, so I'm going to post my sentiment, which you don't have. You could use a proper card sentiment if you want. I'm going to use what's on the stamp set because it's here. So I'm going to get my Misty. Hello, little friend. I need to order some of these. I did something weird and it broke it in half. So Rich has to sign my card. I love that man, and you have to understand this is why it's so funny, is he loves when you guys pay him attention. And I'm like, dude, I do the work. You're just the husband. And he is always in here. Needs a sticker, wants the ladies to love him. And I'm always like, dude, go talk to your golf friends. These are my friends. Can't play with my friends unless I let you play with my friends. Isn't that funny? I must have issues. Look at me. So I am going to, I might move this up a bit. I'm going to stamp these with the Misty. So if it doesn't stamp perfectly black, I can stamp it again. Okay. So I'm going to put sunshine and good vibes on here. Let's hope it's good. I know you guys love Sidecar. I love him too. But it makes me laugh that he takes the glory. Like, you don't do any of the work. Dude, I'm joking, but you know what I'm saying? I need my own sticker. And then everybody gets mad that Rich's sticker is not on their box. And I'm like, dude, he didn't pack it. I packed it. He only gets to put the sticker on the box if he's doing the work. Just like when you were giving birth, Vicky, you did all the work and then Rich gets the congratulations. 100%. You know what I'm saying, right? Let's see. I love it. And then I'll put the ampersand on after, okay? So I'm going to stamp it one more time. This is why I love my Misty, for precision placement and stamping. You got the sticker. The sticker goes on if he packs. Do you know now, just so I don't have to listen to people get mad, I put his sticker on even when I'm packing orders. How crazy is that? That you guys are all more excited over the sidecar sticker than you are the Vicky sticker, the man behind the great woman. I love it, Kim. Or something, right? Little bugger. Okay, let's put that sunshine and good vibes. So the ampersand is going to go right there. And he is such a stinker. He will come out and say, did you put my sticker on the box? I'm like, go back inside and watch your sports. I'm out here doing the work. You only get to have your sticker on the box when you actually do the work. Oh, I hear him. Here he comes. Did you hear me? Did you hear me talking about? I was just talking about you. Because everybody's talking about you on here where I'm doing all the work.
That's the way it should be.
They're like, they like their sidecar sticker.
Well, hopefully I ship it correctly.
Yeah, there's my favorite is when he ships it and forgets the stuff and then argues with me for, how long did you argue with me? That whole day. No. And I said, I'm going to message the lady and say, when your order arrives, just let me know. Are you missing a stencil?
She was missing.
She was missing a stencil because I am not a dummy. It's not my first rodeo, right? Oh, they want you to come on one night, make a card with me. That'd be fun. You would do that. Look how perfect that is, friends.
Yeah, it's not going to look like that.
Rich started playing tennis again, so he just got back from tennis. And we have a kitten now, which is crazy. Anybody who knows us, or like, you have a kitten, we have a kitten. And Rich was trying to stretch before tennis, and the cat was sitting on him, and he has allergies. So we got the kitten because Devin really, really wanted a cat. And so I'm like, honey bunny, you can have this cat. And now I freaking love the cat, but my allergies are 10 times worse than Rich's. And I never thought I had any cat allergies, but lo and behold, I actually do. So now we got to see if Vicky can remember where she put these. Like that and like that, maybe. I like it. And maybe this little Goldie guy here. And I know we had a double of the yellow here. Nope, this one went here. What do we think? I want that blue space right there. I don't want to cover that. So. There. I like that. I like that. So I'm going to finish that out. Let's glue it down, and then we can put it on our card base. Love it. My glue is all. I think I did that. Well, it looks good. Even if anybody else, I need to order about 10 of these. I love this. I have my barely whatever glue, but I haven't opened it yet. That would be helpful, Vicky. Here, let's use some glossy. Glossy for the win. Just got to open that up. There we go. Two. And then we need to bling this up. I need something to bling it up. Thank you, Wanda. Look at Vicky being a card maker over here, right? I've loved seeing how you use distress oxides to paint. And I actually I was poo-pooing it, right? I was poo-pooing the oxides with this and actually love the look. I can say I love how it looks. I was poo-pooing the oxides because I was not sure if I was going to like the chalky nature of it. And now it's like, it was perfect. It was perfect. There we go. Look how pretty. So I'm not going to do this right now. I'll do it later. I saw someone playing tennis this week and I seriously thought in my head, what is Rich thinking? That looks way too much work. I'm just going to embellish the center of these with some kind of gem. And then, like I said, if you guys, yes, thank you, Cynthia. Don't forget to thumbs up the video if you're on YouTube. I love that. And please leave a comment in the regular comment section when we're no longer live if what your favorite part of tonight was. And let me know if you would like an opportunity for this card, because I will send it, mail it. Next weekend, I will pick and post the winner, because if you win it, you need to email me so I have your mailing address, right? So I love that. I'm a card maker. Who knew? I always thought I wasn't very good at this, but I love that. I love mixed media card making. I really want to do more of it in next year, so that we really bring the card makers in and not just scrapbookers, right? Let's bring some new friends to the party. So I really love how that turned out. So see, techniques that I teach you for my main group of following, which is scrapbookers, can easily be incorporated into card making. So I will put this on a 5x7 card base that I'm going to make. I have my cardstock right here. I'm going to make my card base. Well, let's just do it. Just do the things, Vicki. Let's just do it quickly. Now, I would like to buy a whole bunch of card bases so I don't have to do this. Do you guys buy card bases, or do you always cut them out of a heavy card? Just curious for my card making friends, the people who are always making cards. Do you buy pre-made bases, or do you always make them out of cardstock? Oh, see, whoever gets my card, you're going to see that I just tried to use a pen, and it's going to be dirty on the inside. So maybe I'll stencil it before I glue this down, so you don't see. Well, to me, anybody's getting a card from Vicki. Do you really think it's going to be perfectly clean? You don't make cards at all ever? Are you a scrapbooker, Marlo? I buy some and you make some. So there, that was just out of cardstock, right? And then this guy is going to go on here. And I actually am not going to fight how it looks like kind of wonky and wobbly. I actually think it adds to the charm of a mixed media card, that we don't fight that this looks like it's a little wrinkly on here. I actually like that look. So there we go, friends. That was it. I love it too. Tisha, I love that card. And really, you could make tons of those, right? Different color palette. And then this was the layout we made tonight. So we have a layout and a card, and I love how they turned out. Mostly scrapbooks. Sometimes I make cards, but sometimes I buy, even though I have all the things. I hear you. I was with my friend Kelly, and she was coming to visit me, and she's like, can you bring me a card? I need a card. Did you find the pink Sidekick machines in your relocating? I'm waiting for them to be posted. Let me look, Serenity, to see if I even ordered it yet. I will make sure. I have to put an order in anyway. So I will make sure that I order a couple of them, right? Yeah, I could even do a pre-order if anybody wants them. The one thing that I do have that we're going to do something with, I'm going to turn the camera around and talk to you guys for a minute. Hi. Is I have a whole bunch of the Heidi Swap Rolodex things, pink ones and the black ones, because I want to do something next year, like mixed media recipe book. So the only thing is the shipping would be different because the boxes have to be bigger. So that might be a great thing or time for if you wanted to order any tools or something, because they all fit in that big box. But if you want to see it in different light, that's what that looks like. And I love it. But we will embellish the center. We, me, myself, and I, will embellish the center to add a little blingity bling. But thank you so much, my friends, for joining me. That was a lot of fun. Like I said, sometimes I'm tired and it's hard to make it here, and I am always happy that I do, because you guys, this is what you give back to me, is just showing up and chatting with me and spending this time with me. So that it's forced creativity for me. I have to literally, I'm forced to slow down on a Friday night live and do the things. So thank you for the gift you give me by showing up on these Friday nights or Saturday mornings or whenever you watch this, to give me the opportunity to come and share my passion for crafting with you guys, because I absolutely love it. Make sure if you have time tomorrow, you join me on scrapbook.com at SBC Fest. I will put a link in the regular description of this video. As soon as I get off here, I'm going to go and put a link. Hi, Melanie. How are you? I'm going to go put a link on here so that you guys can use my share a sale link if you are going to go buy. They have 10% off all weekend. So there's some really great exclusive dies and stamps I'm going to be ordering, so we can play together from scrapbook.com. So definitely check it out. I will put my link or any of my old share sale links. If you click on any of them for scrapbook.com, will help. And that little bit of help goes a long way, because that's really right how I make my living and how I can come and do these things for you guys. So thank you so much. We'll see you later. Have a wonderful weekend. And don't forget, next weekend is I'm going to really focus in on the clustering. So I'm going to talk to you about how my brain comes up with what it does, and why I cluster my embellishments the way I do. And then for Ada, I will use some Black Foundations paper and some of the Cosmic watercolors on it. And oxide inks will work beautifully on that too. So I'll see you next weekend. See you later. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Bye, guys.